The strange creature in the rain. The rain poured down hard, washing the forest in gray and cold. Ryan pulled his jacket tighter around him and pushed through the trees. He didn't usually walk this deep into the woods, but today felt strange. Something had pulled him here. Maybe it was the silence or the soft cry he thought he heard in the wind. Then he saw it. A small shape curled up near a fallen log, shaking. At first, Ryan thought it was a hurt dog or maybe a lost animal, but when he got closer, he stopped. "What the hell?" he whispered. The creature didn't look like anything from Earth. Its skin was soft and smooth, glowing faintly blue under the rain. It had big, shiny eyes, too large for its small head, and thin limbs wrapped tightly around itself. Its fur was short, soft, and shimmered like silver in the light. It looked scared. And it was freezing. Ryan slowly stepped forward, careful not to scare it. "Hey, it's okay," he said softly. The creature looked up at him with sad, tired eyes. It didn't run. It didn't even move. Without thinking, Ryan took off his jacket and wrapped it around the creature. It was so light, lighter than a cat. He picked it up gently and felt it shivering against his chest. "You're coming with me," he whispered. Back at his small cabin, Ryan placed the creature on a towel near the fireplace. He turned the heat up and dried its soft fur. It didn't bite. It just curled up tighter, breathing slowly, eyes half closed. He gave it a bowl of warm milk. The creature sniffed it, then began to drink. It looked hungry, starving even, but it drank with care. Ryan sat nearby, watching it. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. "What are you?" he asked quietly. "You don't look real." The creature blinked at him. It made a soft humming sound, almost like a song. Then it laid its head down and closed its eyes. Ryan stayed, up for a while, making sure it was okay. Outside, thunder rumbled and lightning flashed, but inside the cabin was warm. Safe. He didn't know why, but he felt something strange, a connection. That night, Ryan couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about the creature. Where did it come from? Why did it look so different? Why didn't it run from him? Around 3 a.m., the lights flickered. Ryan sat up. Great. Powers acting. Up again. Suddenly, a soft blue light filled the room. Ryan turned. The creature was glowing. Its body gave off a gentle, pulsing light. Ryan's eyes widened. The air around the creature shimmered like heat waves. Then the light stopped. The creature lay still again, but now its body had changed just a little. Its face was smoother, its limbs slightly longer. Its shape was becoming more human. Ryan rubbed his eyes. No way, I must be dreaming. But he wasn't. The creature stirred again. Its eyes opened and locked on his. For a second, Ryan felt something deep in his mind, like a voice without words. A feeling, fear, sadness, hope. Ryan slowly got up, walked over and sat next to it. He didn't say anything. He just placed his hand near it. The creature lifted one of its small, glowing hands and touched his finger. The warmth shot through him like lightning, but it didn't hurt. It felt comforting, like a lost soul saying, "Thank you." By morning, the rain had stopped. The forest was quiet again. Sunlight broke through the clouds and warmed the cabin's wooden walls. Ryan stretched and yawned. He looked over at the towel, empty. His heart jumped. He stood quickly. "Where?" Then he heard it. The shower was running. Confused, Ryan walked to the bathroom door. He paused. A voice, soft, unsure, called from inside. "Ryan?" His eyes went wide. He didn't answer. Couldn't speak. The door opened slightly, and standing there, wrapped in a towel, was a young woman, but she wasn't normal. Her eyes glowed, faint blue. Her skin shimmered with soft patterns. Her hair fell like silver threads over her shoulders. She looked at him, scared, but not afraid of him. "Thank you," she whispered, "for saving me." Ryan stepped back. His mind raced. He tried to speak, but only managed, You're the... She nodded. I was the creature, she said softly. My name is Elira. The morning she spoke, Ryan stood frozen. His mind couldn't understand what he was seeing. The strange creature he rescued was now standing in front of him. But she was no longer a small animal. She was a young woman, alien, yet somehow beautiful. Her glowing blue eyes held fear and softness. Her voice had been real. She had said his name. How do you know my name? Ryan finally asked, his voice low and shaky. The girl, still wrapped in the towel, looked confused herself. I don't know, it just came to me, she said, her words slow and careful, as if speaking for the first time. He stepped back, still staring. You were that little thing I found in the woods? She nodded slowly. I was hiding in that form, trying to survive. Ryan grabbed a blanket from the couch and handed it to her. Here, take this, you must be freezing. She took it with a soft smile, wrapping it around her shoulders. Her hands trembled slightly. Thank you for not leaving me. Most beings do. Ryan sat down, rubbing his forehead. I don't understand. You're not from Earth, are you? No, she said. I came from far, very far. My planet no longer exists. Her voice cracked a little as she said that. Ryan looked at her carefully. She seemed tired. Her eyes were heavy, her legs weak. Sit down, he said quickly. You need rest. She walked over and sat on the edge of the couch. Ryan noticed how her feet barely touched the floor. Her body still held traces of that soft, glowing blue. Not human, but close enough to feel familiar. What's your name? He asked gently. She looked at him. Elira. He repeated it. Elira. What are you? Elira paused. I was part of a peaceful race. We had the ability to change our shape to survive. But that gift became a curse. Many species wanted to control us, use us. We were hunted. I'm one of the last. Her voice shook. Ryan could see the pain behind her words. He said nothing for a moment, then asked, Why Earth? It was the only place I could reach, she whispered. Somewhere, forgotten, quiet, a world not yet touched by the war that destroyed mine. Ryan looked at her, thinking hard. So you were hiding as a creature in the woods, just hoping no one would find you? She nodded. But I was dying. I used the last of my strength to stay hidden, and then I found you, he said softly. Yes, she said. You saved me. No one has ever done that for me before. Her voice was full of warmth and surprise, as if she still couldn't believe someone had helped her. Ryan stood up and walked to the window. The sky outside was clearing. Sunlight touched the wet leaves. Everything felt unreal. Are there others like you? He asked without turning around. Not anymore, she answered. The hunters came for us. One by one we vanished. He turned to look at her. Are they still looking for you? Elira's eyes grew serious. If they felt the energy I released during the storm, they'll come. They don't stop until they get what they want. Ryan felt a chill down his back. You should have left me, Elira said quietly. Now you're in danger too. He walked back and sat across from her. Well, it's too late for that now. She blinked. You don't seem afraid. I am, Ryan said honestly, but I'm not going to leave you. They looked at each other for a long moment. Something unspoken passed between them. A strange bond. Suddenly, Elira groaned softly and held her side. What's wrong? Ryan rushed forward. I'm still weak. Changing like that takes a lot out of me. I'm not stable yet, she said. Then rest. You're safe here. No one comes out this far. Elira leaned back on the couch and closed her eyes. Ryan covered her with a second blanket. Her breathing slowed. Her body shimmered faintly again. Like stardust. He sat near her thinking. This wasn't just a rescue. This was something bigger, something the galaxy had tried to erase. But he had found it. Or maybe she had found him. Outside, a bird cried in the trees. Inside, Ryan looked at the strange girl sleeping on his couch and whispered, "Whatever you are, I'm not letting them take you." A visitor in the fog. The fog rolled in thick the next morning. Ryan stood on the porch, sipping hot coffee, staring into the pale forest beyond his cabin. The trees were quiet. Too quiet. Not a single bird chirped. No wind moved the leaves. It felt wrong. Inside, Alira was still resting. She hadn't spoken much since yesterday, but her body had stopped glowing. Her breathing had steadied. She looked more human now, but not fully. Faint blue veins still pulsed under her skin, and her silver hair shimmered even in the dim light. Ryan kept glancing at the woods. Then he saw it. A dark shape moved between the trees. Tall, thin, silent. Ryan narrowed his eyes. "Dear," he muttered. But the way it moved, too straight, too smooth, it wasn't natural. He stepped back inside and closed the door softly. "Alira," he said. "Wake up." She stirred slowly, blinking as she sat up. "What is it? I think someone's here." Her eyes widened instantly. "What did you see?" "Something watching, in the trees, tall and strange." Alira got to her feet fast, wobbling slightly. "They've found me." Ryan didn't ask how she knew. He could feel it too. Something out there was looking for her, cold and dangerous. "I have to leave," she said. "You've already done too much." "No," Ryan said firmly. "We're not doing that again. I'm not leaving you alone." Alira looked at him, her eyes soft but scared. "You don't understand what's coming. I don't care. Tell me what I need to know." She hesitated, then walked to the window and stared out. "They're not soldiers," she said quietly. "They're trackers, built to find shapeshifters like me. They don't speak. They don't stop. Once they catch your scent, they follow. It until you're dead." Ryan's grip tightened on his coffee mug. "How many?" "Only one comes first," Alira whispered. "A scout, but more will follow soon." A shadow passed outside the window. They both froze. Then, tap. A soft sound at the door. Ryan's heart raced. He grabbed his grandfather's old shotgun from the wall. It wasn't built for alien hunters, but it was something. "Back door," he whispered to Alira. "Go out slow. Don't run unless I say." She nodded and moved quietly toward the back. Ryan walked to the front door. Another soft tap. He opened. The door slowly, shotgun in hand. No one there, only thick fog and silence. Then a whisper, not a voice, like metal sliding over ice. It came from above. Ryan looked up. Something was clinging to the cabin roof. Its skin was black metal. No eyes. Just a faceplate with scanning lights sweeping over him. It moved like a spider, fast, silent, and deadly. Ryan slammed the door and locked it. "Alira, run!" Glass shattered in the back room, a scream. Ryan turned and rushed after her. Alira was on the ground. The creature stood over her, one claw raised. She had tried to fight it, but she was still too weak. Ryan didn't think. He raised the shotgun and fired. The blast hit the creature in the shoulder, knocking it sideways. It let out a sharp electric hiss and turned toward him, lights glowing red. "Get up!" he yelled, helping Alira to her feet. She clung to him, barely able to stand. Together they ran out the back into the foggy forest. Behind them, the tracker climbed out of the house, moving faster than any machine should. But it didn't chase immediately. It simply stood there, watching them disappear into the trees. It had already marked them, and it was calling others. They ran until their legs gave out. Deep in the woods, they found a hollow under a fallen tree. Ryan helped Alira inside, then sat beside her, breathing hard. "I hit it," he said between breaths. "But it didn't even bleed." "They don't bleed," Alira said weakly. "They don't feel pain. You only slowed it down." Ryan looked at her. What do we do now? She looked up, her voice soft and tired. We run, and we hide. Because if more come... She didn't finish the sentence. Ryan looked into the fog, jaw clenched. I don't care how many come. I'm not letting them take you. Elira's eyes glistened. She whispered, You're a strange human, Ryan. He smiled a little, despite everything. Yeah, I get that a lot. But deep inside, he knew the worst was yet to come. The hidden, past she could never share. They stayed hidden under the fallen tree for hours. The forest was quiet, but not peaceful. It was the kind of silence that warned of danger. Ryan held his breath every time a branch cracked in the distance. Elira lay beside him, her breathing shallow, her face pale. The earlier run had drained her completely. She wasn't healing, she was fading. As the fog began to lift, Ryan whispered, You need help. Medicine. Food. Something. Elira shook her head slowly. It's not my body that's broken, Ryan. It's something deeper. What do you mean? She hesitated. Then for the first time since they met, she looked at him like someone ready to say goodbye. I wasn't just running from hunters, she said softly. I was running from what I did. Ryan leaned in, confused. What do you mean? Elira sat up with effort, wrapping the blanket tighter around her glowing skin. Her voice was a mix of pain and memory. My planet, no, we had peace for a long time. Our kind could change form, hide in any world, blend in. But we weren't fighters. We trusted too easily. That's how the Cernex Empire tricked us. Ryan frowned. The what? Cernex. A powerful empire, cold, heartless. They wanted our gift, to use it in war, in control, in lies. They sent diplomats first, offering peace, and we believed them. She looked down. Her hand shook. I was one of the young chosen, a symbol of hope. I visited their world as a guest, but I was just a test subject. Ryan's heart sank. They experimented on you? She nodded. They tore my body apart, made machines study my DNA. They didn't care that I screamed, didn't care when others died. I survived by becoming what they couldn't track, something so small, so weak they overlooked me. That animal you found was all I had left. Ryan was silent. The anger inside him boiled. They were going to erase us, Elira whispered, and I destroyed their lab to escape. Hundreds died. I killed them. You were trying to survive, Ryan said, his voice low but firm. That's not murder. That's war. She looked up at him, eyes glassy with tears. I'm not proud of it. I don't feel brave. I feel broken. Ryan gently touched her hand. You're still here. That means something. She gave him a small, sad smile. You don't even know me, Ryan. Why do you care? He didn't answer right away. Then he looked her straight in the eyes and said, Because you looked at me like I was more than just another human, and because no one deserves to die alone. Elira didn't reply. She leaned her head against his shoulder and closed her eyes. For a moment there was peace. Later they moved again, this time deeper into the mountains. Ryan knew a hidden cave nearby from childhood. It was small, but dry and safe. The entrance was covered in moss and stone. No one would find them there easily. Inside, Elira sat against the wall while Ryan lit a small fire. You need to rest, he said. Sleep as much as you can. I'll keep watch. She nodded, too tired to argue. Her eyes closed, and soon she was asleep. Ryan sat near the entrance, holding the shotgun tightly. That's when he heard it again, the soft hum, low and cold like metal vibrating in the air. A distant noise, but getting closer. They were coming. He rushed back inside, shaking Elira awake. We don't have long, she groaned softly. I can't run again. Then we make them come to us, Ryan said. This time we fight. Elira opened her eyes, glowing faintly in the cave's darkness. I've never fought beside a human before, she said weakly. Ryan smirked. Well, we're full of surprises. She smiled for the first time, but as the hum grew louder outside, and red scanning lights flickered through the forest trees, both of them knew this was just the beginning. The fire in the trees. The night turned red. Ryan crouched near the cave's edge, watching the trees light up with scanning beams. 3 glowing orbs floated between the trunks, drones searching. Behind them came the hunters, tall, armored figures with glowing faceplates. Their steps made no sound, no breathing, no emotion, just purpose. Elira sat behind him, still weak, but awake now. Her skin pulsed with light like waves on water. She was trying to charge her energy, but there wasn't much time. They brought a seeker, she whispered. Ryan glanced at her. What's that? She didn't look at him. The worst kind. A machine made to smell fear, not scent. It can feel a target's heartbeat. Once it knows yours, it can track it forever. Ryan's jaw clenched. Great. Outside, the seeker floated in the air. It had no legs, just a glowing sphere for a head and long, spidery arms that twitched and moved like snakes. A red circle pulsed in its center. Then it stopped. It turned toward the cave. Ryan stood. They know. Elira tried to get up. Her legs gave out. You should leave. If they kill me, they might spare you. He shook his head, furious. I didn't drag you out of the rain just to hand you over now. She looked at him, her eyes full of emotion. The forest was suddenly filled with the buzz of the seeker, then silence. Then, a boom. The first drone exploded in a shower of light. Ryan had fired the shotgun from behind the rock wall. He loaded the next round fast. I'll hold the front. You focus, power up, whatever you can do. But no, he said sharply. You told me you can change. Then change. Become what you need to survive. Elira's hands trembled, glowing stronger. Now. I'm scared. I know, Ryan said. So am I. He peeked out again. 2 hunters were approaching. One aimed a pulse weapon. Ryan ducked back. A red bolt hit the rock with a hiss. They were pinned. Elira closed her eyes. Her breath slowed. She reached inward, deep past the pain, the fear, the guilt. She thought of the stars, of her lost home, of the creature she once was, of Ryan's arms wrapping her in warmth, not fear, and something inside her clicked. A soft thrum filled the cave. The walls shook slightly. Ryan looked back and gasped. Elira was glowing like a living star. Her skin turned transparent, showing light instead of veins. Her shape began to change, not into an animal, not a human, but something else, something ancient and powerful. Then she screamed. The energy burst out in every direction. Outside, the hunters stumbled, trees bent backward, drones shut down. Ryan felt heat and wind push against him, but it didn't burn. It felt like standing under the sun, warm, full of life. Elira stood now, taller, stronger. Her body was armored in living crystal. Wings of light unfolded behind her. Her eyes blazed with white fire. The seeker floated forward. Without a word, Elira raised her hand. Blast of pure energy shot out, faster than lightning, slamming into the seeker. It screeched as it was torn apart midair. Ryan watched, amazed. Holy! 2 hunters rushed forward. She raised her arms, and beams of light sliced through the trees like blades. The hunters exploded in shards of burning metal. Then silence. Smoke rose from the forest. Ryan stepped forward. Elira? She turned slowly. Her voice echoed in the air, like music inside a dream. I remember who I am now. He stared at her. What? Are you? Her glow dimmed a little. She stepped closer, her form softening. Not a warrior, not a monster, just a girl who didn't want to die. Ryan felt his heart swell. You saved us. She gave a tired smile. Because you believed in me first. But then she looked to the sky. Her smile faded. "What is it?" he asked. She pointed upward. "They know I'm alive now. And they'll send worse." Ryan looked up. In the distance, small lights moved in the stars, ships. "They're coming," she whispered. "Not just for me, for Earth." Ryan stepped beside her, shotgun still in hand. "Then we'll be ready." The message Earth was never meant to hear. The night sky was no longer dark, high above the forest. Strange stars blinked and moved. Ryan stood beside Alira, staring at the distant lights. They weren't stars. They were ships, dozens, maybe more, and they were growing brighter. "They're not wasting time," Alira said softly. Ryan gripped his shotgun. "Can Earth even fight something like this?" She shook her head. "Not yet. Your world doesn't even know it's being watched." A deep rumble passed through the ground. They had just hours, maybe less. They left the mountains before sunrise. Ryan drove his old Jeep through dirt roads, heading toward a military base 2 towns over. It was the only place nearby with a satellite, uplink powerful enough to send a signal beyond Earth's orbit. "We need to warn them," Alira said, her voice firm. "If your people don't prepare, they'll be wiped out before they know what hit them." Ryan nodded. "They probably won't believe me." "Then show them me," she replied. "They'll believe their eyes." The base came into view just after dawn. Ryan pulled the Jeep into a hidden spot behind an old fuel tower. "Now what?" he asked. "We go inside," Alira said. "We find the uplink. I'll send a pulse code to the Terran defense net." Ryan blinked. "What's that?" "A warning system used by some outer colonies that traded with humans in secret. They might help. Or at least listen." Ryan raised an eyebrow. "Wait. Humans have already—" Alira cut him off. "Now's not the time." They moved fast. Alira wore a hood to hide her glowing skin, but every time she stepped under a light, the glow peeked through. They reached the outer fence. Ryan used an old service tunnel he remembered from his uncle, who once worked at the base. They slipped inside unnoticed. The control room was cold and quiet. Only one technician sat there sipping coffee and looking half asleep. Alira stepped forward and whispered something in a strange language. Her voice echoed inside the room, even though she spoke soft. The technician's eyes rolled back. He slumped. In his chair, unconscious but breathing, Ryan's eyes widened. "What did you do?" "I made him sleep. He won't remember us." She moved to the console and placed her hand on the screen. Light spread from her palm. The machine flickered, then changed. Symbols Ryan had never seen before flowed across the display. "This language is older than your satellites," she said, "but it speaks to them just fine." The signal pulsed out into the sky. Alira whispered, "To anyone still watching, we need help. Earth doesn't know what's coming. I beg you, listen." The lights blinked once. Then again. Message sent. But then, warning alarms blared. Red lights flashed. A robotic voice shouted, "Unauthorized transmission. Security alert." Ryan cursed. "They know we're here." Alira looked at him, panic in her eyes. "We have to go. Now." They ran. Soldiers appeared from the hallway shouting. Ryan fired once in the air to startle them. Alira waved her hand and a wall of energy pushed the guards back. They made it outside. Barely. But as they reached the Jeep, a black aircraft dropped from the sky, not Earth's alien. Alira froze. "No," she whispered. It wasn't just a hunter ship. It was a collector. Ryan pulled her behind the Jeep. "What's a collector?" Her face was pale. "It doesn't kill. It captures. It takes everything, life, memories, DNA, and leaves a world hollow." The ship opened its front. A beam of energy shot out, pulling metal, dirt, even air toward it. Alira's feet lifted off the ground. Ryan grabbed her wrist. "I'm not letting you go." She looked into his eyes. "You can't stop it." "I don't care." The wind howled. Her hood flew off. Soldiers from the base watched in shock as her alien form was revealed. Some raised weapons. Others froze. Then, boom, the collector's beam cracked, split in two. A glowing spear of light had hit its engine from the clouds. Everyone looked up. New ship had entered the sky, smaller, sleek, shaped like a blade. Elira's face lit up. "That's a Terran colony ship," they answered. The collector turned to retreat, but the blade ship followed fast, firing again. The sky lit with fire. Ryan held Elira tight. "We're not alone anymore," she whispered. He smiled. "Took them long enough." She was just a creature in the rain. Now the galaxy stands still for her. The collector ship burned across the sky, black smoke trailing behind it as it crashed far into the mountains. The Terran colony ship circled once, scanning the area, before hovering silently above the military base. Its hull shimmered like starlight, neither human nor fully alien. Soldiers on the ground didn't know whether to run or kneel. But Ryan didn't care about any of that. He was still holding Elira. She was shaking, not from fear, but from something else, something awakening deep inside her. Her skin glowed bright and wild, and her silver hair floated like it was underwater. "Elira," Ryan said gently, "are you okay?" She turned slowly to face him, her voice distant. The pulse, it reached more than just the Terran colonies. "I can feel them waking up." Ryan blinked. "Who?" "My people," she whispered. "The ones I thought were gone. Some of them are still out there, hiding, surviving. The signal called to them too." She clutched her chest. "They're coming." The Terran colony ship landed in the center of the base, its doors opened. 4 figures stepped out, humanoid but clearly not human. Their skin was smooth like polished stone. Their eyes held stars inside them. The lead figure walked toward Elira and bowed deeply. "Princess," he said, "you are alive." Ryan's eyes went wide. "Wait, Princess?" Elira looked away. "I didn't want you to treat me differently." The figure continued. "We received your distress call, but we weren't the only ones who heard it. The Cernex fleet is coming." Elira's jaw clenched. "How long?" "Hours." Ryan stepped forward. "Then let's not waste time. What do we do?" The humans were confused, afraid, but the Terran colonies moved quickly. The alien visitors worked with Earth's generals. Within an hour, Earth's orbit was surrounded by defense satellites, Terran fighters, and pulse shields that hadn't been activated in decades. The world, unaware of its place in the galaxy, suddenly woke up. For the first time, humanity saw the stars not just as lights, but as paths filled with both allies and enemies. And it all began with one girl, who had once been a trembling creature in the rain. Inside a command tent, Elira stood in full armor now, not made of metal but of light and memory, her people's legacy. She looked like a goddess from another world, but she was scared. Ryan walked in and saw her hands trembling. "You're not alone anymore," he said. She turned to him. "I've always been afraid of this day, the day I stop hiding, the day they find me, and I fight back." "You're stronger than you think," Ryan replied. She looked at him with wet eyes. "I was ready to die, Ryan. That day in the rain, I gave up." "I know," he said softly, "but you didn't, and now the galaxy is watching." She took a breath and held his hand. "Then let's make this count." The sky broke open at noon. The Cernex fleet arrived like a black storm, hundreds of warships, crawling with machines, drones and creatures twisted by science. They didn't send messages. They opened fire. But Earth was ready. For the first time, humans and off-world allies fought together. Missiles shot from Earth. Pulse cannons from the colony ships returned fire. Above the clouds the war began, and in the middle of it, Elira and Ryan. They boarded the Terran blade ship, now leading the charge. Ryan wasn't trained. He wasn't a soldier. But he was beside her. That was enough. Elira stood at the front of the ship, her body glowing brighter than ever. Her energy flowed into the ship's core. She became the weapon. As enemy fighters closed in, Elira's voice echoed through the systems. Open the heart. The front of the ship split wide. A beam of pure light blasted out, carving a hole through the enemy line. Down on Earth, millions watched the skies, unsure what was happening. Then, world leaders received a signal. A video broadcast of Elira standing before stars, her voice clear and calm. I am Elira of the Corellan line, one of the last of my kind. I was hunted, broken, and hiding, but a human found me. He gave me food, warmth, hope. He taught me your world is not cruel. She looked into the camera. You are not ready for the war that has come, but I believe in you. I believe in what you can become. In orbit, the final battle burned like a second sun. The Cernex mothership entered Earth's orbit. It was massive, bigger than anything humans had ever seen. No weapons could pierce its hull. Ryan looked out from the ship. We need to stop that thing now or it'll wipe out cities. Elira closed her eyes. There's one way. She stepped toward the center of the ship, where energy pulsed in rhythm with her heart. I can release everything I have. All of me, but I won't come back. Ryan grabbed her hand. There has to be another way. She smiled. You gave me a life, Ryan. I'm giving you a future. He stared into her glowing eyes. I didn't save you just to lose you. She leaned close. Then believe in me. She stepped into the core. Light exploded. The ship moved on its own, aiming straight at the Cernex mothership. Ryan watched from the escape pod, tears in his eyes. The Terran ship pierced the Cernex ship like a blade through glass. Then, silence. A ring of energy spread through space. The mothership shattered. The rest of the Cernex fleet retreated. On Earth, people looked up at the sky and saw fire, then stars, then peace. In the forest where it all began, the rain returned, soft and cold. Ryan stood alone beneath the same tree where he once found her. In his hand was a small crystal, still glowing faint blue. She was just a creature in the rain, he whispered, and she changed everything. Behind him, a child's voice spoke. Dad? Ryan turned. A small girl stood there, silver hair, glowing eyes. She smiled. She's part of me, the girl said softly. She left something behind. Ryan fell to his knees, tears streaming down. Not just joy, not just sorrow, but something bigger. Hope.